So this next construction specifically will guide you through how to draw a perpendicular line through a very specific point that is given to be on the line. So here you can see my image here. I have a line that goes forever in both directions, and that's indicated with these arrows on both ends. And I have given you a point on this line, and I've labeled that point as point P. Our goal, though, is to create a line that goes specifically through P, so it's an up and down line that goes through P, such that I get 90-degree angles when those two lines meet or intersect. So let's walk through about how to do that. The first thing that we have to do is we have to take our tool here, our compass and straight edge, and we're going to place the window of your compass over the only point that is given here, point P. So I'm going to place my window over point P. My next goal is, and I might have to move my slider at this point, so I'm going to move it a little inward because I want to create a circle that hits or touches or intersects my line that's given, but in two different places. I'm going to go ahead and create my circle and show you where those two places are so you can see visually what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to create my circle. I've created my circle. And you can see that on to the right of P along my line, my circle intersects on this side. And then to the left of P, my circle intersects my line segment here. It's very important that your circle intersects or hits or touches the line that's given in two different places. We're going to go ahead and indicate those two places by labeling and naming those points. Again, it doesn't matter what you name them. I'm going to go ahead and label this point over here, point D. And the point to the right, I'm just going to label that as E. So now that I've done that, I'm going to return back to my tool here, and I now have created 2 points of my own along this line, point D and point E. I am going to use my compass now in order to create a perpendicular that goes through this point P. To do that, I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to place the window of my compass over point D here. So completely over top of point D. I'm now going to adjust my slider here such that it's not directly over E, but it's slightly before E. Do not go beyond E. So now that I've kind of moved my slider to the left of E, I'm now going to draw additional arcs here. So I'm going to draw my arc up above and my arc down below. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side directly over my point E now. So I'm going to turn my tool just around. Remember, do not change the distance that's saved on your slider tool here. So now placing my window here over point E. Placing my window over point E and holding firmly. Using the same hole that I just used in drawing my previous arc, I'm going to draw an arc down below. And I'm going to draw an arc up above. So you can see I have my two arcs, one on this side going from top to bottom, and one on this side going from top to bottom. You can see that those arcs also intersect each other. Directly up here, my arcs are intersecting. I'm going to label this point as point F. In this point down here where my two arcs intersect, I'm going to label that as point G. Point G. Those 2 points that I have just labeled F and G, I am going to draw a line directly through both of those points. And you can see, oh my God, this line is also going to go through my point P. And that's exactly what we wanted. We're trying to get a perpendicular through the point that was given in the very beginning, the point on my line, which was given as point P. So I have created a perpendicular through my original line. The perpendicular here is between this line FG and this line DE. I'm going to go ahead and indicate that using a geometric sentence or geometric statement. So my up and down line I can express as line segment FG. So I have FG. And that line segment is perpendicular to, notice I use the symbol for perpendicular, an upside down T. So line segment FG is perpendicular to my line that goes from left to right. And I can express that as line DE. So DE. Now, because that line goes forever in both directions, it's indicated with these arrows here. In my sentence, I've indicated that proper symbol up above saying, hey, that is not a line segment, it's actually a line. It goes forever in both directions. So let's talk about my expectations for the assessment that we'll be receiving on this. My expectation is that you will know how to do this construction. So given a line with a point on it, you can construct a perpendicular through that point on the line. And we have walked through step by step of how to do this, and you can see it visually on here. So I have successfully completed that. The next thing that I have successfully done is that I have marked that all of my angles here within my image are 90 degrees. And the way that I have been successful on that, or the way that I've communicated that, is through this symbol here, this box symbol. This means, hey, I got 90-degree angles going on here. So I have successfully communicated that angles are 90 degrees. The last thing that I am expecting you to do is be able to express a sentence using proper geometric notation. You can see that that is actually the last thing I did over here when I said line segment FG, which was my up and down line, is perpendicular to line DE, which was my left and right line. So that geometric sentence satisfies my third requirement. I've expressed that perpendicular using a geometric statement.